Welcome back to Real Repairs, folks. It's a special episode because we are in Dan Earlywine's shop again. We were here earlier today shooting a video about a truss rod repair, but in the middle of that, Blake here showed up and talked about an issue here he's having with this 76 jazz bass. So, Blake, why don't you fill us in on what's going on with this jazz bass?
So, a customer of mine brought me this jazz bass, and it needed a full setup, and the foam underneath the pickups had just turned to tar. It's super sticky, and he wanted me to clean it up, put new foam in it so the pickups could actually adjust. I got treble pickup cleaned out, got the pocket for the neck pickup cleaned out, and while I was scraping the neck pickup, almost done, too comfortable, I ended up slipping with my X-Acto and poked the coil just enough that it's not reading now. I soldered it up just to test it anyways, and I was getting like low and thin output, so I know that I definitely have cut the coil at some point, but fortunately for me, Gene said that he could teach me a thing or two about pickups. So
Okay.
I'm gonna turn it over to you now.
Okay, man.
That was a good segue.
I think at one point I heard Frank Ford at a Northwoods seminar say like an expert is somebody who's made every mistake possible, and so you're one step closer to being an expert here.
I can't wait.
So this is no big deal. If you nick this coil there, you could kill this pickup or reduce the output. Hopefully we can find where that nick is at and peel this wire back. And reconnect it and just save this pickup as is. Worst case is we just rewind this pickup and we'll use the exact same type of wire, do it exactly how Fender did it, and at the end of the day, you really won't even be able to tell. Hey, thanks, Dan. Folks, Dan Earlywine. Yeah, so I can see where you nicked it. And honestly, if this is what did it, I'm kind of surprised because it doesn't look like you've broken through the wire to me. So it's possible that it seems like that's what happened, but just in the process of you working on it, you've kind of compromised these connections and you just weren't getting full output. So we always start with the least intrusive first, and then we'll work our way up to a rewind if we have to. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But let's get our soldering iron going here and reflow these joints.
All right.
So we've got two solder points. One's going to be the start of the coil, where this 42 gauge enamel starts and then gets wrapped around this coil. And then it will terminate here at this one, and that's where it will connect to our two leads. All right, that should at least give us two clean points to test. And if we test this and it gives us a reading, then this is going to be a really short video. Nope. Okay. So then the next step is to undo the finish wire, find the break, and then reattach it. The start wire is going to be tucked underneath. The finish wire should be right on the outside. There it is. You see that little tail? So let's just see if this will come apart. It may not. It's already
Pretty tight.
Pretty tight there. I think we're holding up here because this is potted in lacquer. We can take a little acetone, which I'm hoping might soften the lacquer, but it shouldn't eat through the enamel, and maybe we can peel it apart a little bit. Ha.
Wizard.
It worked. So ideally, man, we come around here and this just comes apart. Then we found our break. So let's see. Where is our nick at? Is that it right there?
That looks to be correct.
I just have a hard time believing that's the reason this pickup isn't working. So we haven't come up to it yet. We may have to take off a few winds until we get all the way up there.
So Gene, what's like the ballpark number for a pickup like this?
You know, off the top of my head, I don't remember exactly how many turns are on a jazz bass pickup. You know, probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 5,000 to 10,000. This has probably got more than that, 7,000, 8,000 maybe.
Okay. I've heard a lot of people have bought pickups that you've made, and seems to be a local favorite. What's your kind of secret sauce for making a pickup that sounds so good?
My secret sauce is that there really isn't a secret sauce. I mean, I'm just trying to duplicate pickups I love.
I've heard from several people who have bought pickups that you've made, and they all love them. So I think you're doing something right.
Well, you're
getting close.
We're slowly working our way to the top of the bobbin here.
Right.
If we get to the top and we haven't found a wind, then two things. One, you didn't break this pickup. And two, we're probably going to have to rewind it. So So I don't see your nick anymore here.
I don't either.
Yeah, so you've
pulled right past where we thought it was.
We've gone past that.
There's no break.
So let's try one little Hail Mary here. Take off a little of this insulation. Corrosion maybe happened in that first outside winding. Take a DC resistance reading again. You never know. I've seen weirder things happen. Okay. All right, well, let's rewind a pickup.
I've never rewound a pickup, so...
One of my favorite things to do. We need to get all of this wire off of here, and the easiest way to do is just cut it all off of there.
Great.
And then kind of prep this bobbin, make sure it's smooth and there's nothing that's going to catch the coil wire coming back on there.
Sure.
And prep it to rewind. Brush on some shellac around the outside. I've got some tiny little scissors over here. You know, it's the first couple times you do this on an old vintage pickup, you're like, oh no, this is...
Say I've never given a pickup a haircut before, but...
This is the last thing I would want to do to an old pickup, but it's already dead, so it doesn't feel a thing at this point. Fresh roll of that. We need to open up these eyelets, so let's take the solder out of this.
We got Danny West tape right here. Yeah. Shout out to Danny West.
Hey Danny, we love your tape.
We need to make sure that this goes on in the correct direction so that it remains in phase. We know that we started here, that was our start, and we started pulling apart this way. And when we were unwinding, we were unwinding clockwise.
Yep.
Which means that the wire went on counterclockwise.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Makes sense.
Okay. So when we put it on the machine, if we want the wire to come on counterclockwise, the machine has to spin clockwise.
Gotcha. Okay.
If we get a bird's nest in there, it's not a big deal. We'll just start slow until I get my feel for it. I want to keep tension in the coil. I don't want it super spongy. The spongier it is, and the more flexible and the more it moves in there, the more likely it is to be microphonic.
And that you said that was caused by loose windings?
Just the kind of the vibration of the coil. It kind of create a feedback loop in there, and you know, it's looking pretty good.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not lumpy. It's on there fairly evenly. I can see where I need to fill in. Let's just keep going.
How many are you shooting for?
8,000. I might slow down here for the last 1,000. All right, so we're at 8,000 here. Let's see what we look like. It's 8,050. That looks pretty good. Let's kind of zoom in on it here and see what it looks like if I don't like that loose wire. If we were going to tape this up, I wouldn't worry about it because we could smash that down with tape. But since we're not, I'm just going to take some coil wire and wrap it up. But we'll add a little bit of shellac or something to the outside of this, and that'll shore it up a little bit more too.
Sure.
All right, well, we're a little over 8,000 obviously, but we're 8,076. And what year is this jazz bass?
This is 76 J
This is
bass.
76 J bass, so we're gonna stop right there. Let's strip a little insulation here and see if we can get a DC resistance reading to make sure this thing works, but basically gonna
right
be
at 7.
so we're gonna call that good. And I wanna make sure that this follows the very bottom all the way around. Just get these secured. I'm gonna stick it back up here just as a holder. Now I want to add some solder and get a nice, clean, shiny, smooth solder joint. And we need to do this without, if we touch that coil wire with the soldering iron, then we get to do this all again. So we gotta be very careful. Look at that, 7.
Crazy. Jedi.
Let's grab some shellac. We'll just brush some on here, more for looks than anything, and to give it a little protection to the outside of this coil.
Sweet.
How about some vintage amber? Let's add just a touch of yellow to this. We don't need to be too scientific here. Just a few drops, and let's see what this looks like. We're not trying to do a perfect looking finish. We just want to recreate some of the lacquer that was on here. We'll give that a second here to soak in. Look at that, it just
Oh, that's awesome.
soaked right in. Check the other side again.
I'm smelling the shellac.
You smell
What do you
shellac,
think?
don't
Get in
you?
here, check this out.
What do you think, man?
So much extra do you charge for that?
A lot.
Good job. Now get to cleaning up.
All right. Well, we're going to let this sit overnight, and we'll see you guys back tomorrow.
Right.
Okay, we're back the next day. Our shellac is all dry, and everything looks great. This color matches real nicely with the leftover blob from Fender there. I've also brought you some proper foam.
Thank you very much.
We can replace the foam, and
Perfect.
this will last another 50 years.
Thank you.
Let's get it back together.
Awesome.
All right, man.
First thing I'm gonna do is stick our foam down under our pickup. Just trimming the foam so the pickup will get down lower for the string clearance. And there we go. And then I'm gonna go ahead and run my wires with the wires facing the control cavity.
Give you a little tip. When you drop that in, turn it
Backwards and get a little
until
lock.
you find your original threads and you don't strip the hole or accidentally start a new hole next to it. Not that I've ever done that. Let's test the bridge pickup and see if we need that entire height of foam or not. If we take a little off, it probably wouldn't hurt, but it doesn't need much.
Yeah.
Let's keep it as is.
Cool. So now we're ready to do our soldering. We have both of our pickups in with the foam underneath. We have our hot lead for our pickup, our ground for our pickup, and the ground for the base plate that's underneath. Our white lead is gonna go to our second lug right here in the center. Both grounds are gonna go to the back of this pot, and we're just trying to make them look exactly like the other one that's here.
Just give it a second. Just keep it on there until it all flows out. All right, that looks great. All right.
Nice and shiny.
Yep. Let's put it back together. Yeah.
Great.
All right, man. May I offer you another tip?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
As a habit, I always keep my hands or my fingers around the tip of the screwdriver so that if I slip, I can stop it from hitting the finish.
Gotcha. All right, it's time to put some strings on.
So those look pretty low. Probably bring them up now, you think?
Yep, I think so.
Start with the string pressed down at the last fret, and then about 1/8 of an inch gap, and then we'll adjust them by ear
Okay.
from there if they need it.
Cool, we'll do that. What do you think?
That's probably fine there.
fine.
It's not an exact science at this point. Just 1/8 inch will get you in the ballpark, and then we'll just take a listen to it. Let's hear what it sounds like. I'm excited.
Cool. Let's start with the bridge pickup, hear
Yeah.
what that sounds like, just to hear the original.
Good comparison. Good.
Okay.
And the rewind. That sounds great.
We hear them both together?
Let's hear them both. Excellent. Should we get the boss to check it out?
Dan, you want to see this thing?
Which one did you fix?
You guessed.
We even aged the pole pieces to match. Can you tell which is the original?
Nah.
This is the one where we aged the pole pieces to match these.
Huh.
Isn't that
buddies.
pretty
All
cool?
right, thanks, man. I think you're exonerated. I don't think you caused the problem with this pickup,
Appreciate that.
but it is a good lesson to be careful working around coils.
Yep.
And you got a good lesson in how to rewind a pickup. I'm stoked at how this came out.
It looks so good.
awesome. Sounds great. Total success. That's a wrap, or a rewind, rather.
Gene, thank you very much. Appreciate it,
Anytime,
buddy.
Blake. Anytime, man. Folks, thanks for joining us again, and we'll see you at the bench next time.